Our previous video described the first 6 players in the starting 11 of the best players that went broke. The rest of the list is even shocking, as those players were once on top of the world. In the lineup, our right midfielder is the Northern Irish player Keith Gillespie. He began his career at Manchester United after winning the FA Youth Cup in 1992 before moving to Newcastle United, where he played in the UEFA Champions League. Gillespie also played in the Premier League for the Blackburn Rovers, Leicester City, and Sheffield United, helping Blackburn win the Football League Cup in 2002. Most of his appearances happened when he played with Newcastle and the Blackburn Rovers. Keith was famous for his gambling addiction, which caused his downfall. The Belfast High Court declared him legally bankrupt on October 1st of 2010. In 2013, he released his autobiography, How Not to Be a Football Millionaire, in which he describes his gambling addiction, estimating he lost more than $8 million. If it was to be adjusted for today's inflation, Keith blew up more than $12 million. Ronaldinho is a Brazilian footballer born in 1980. He started his professional career in Brazil before moving to the French capital to play for PSG, where he became more recognized. He then made a sensational move to FC Barcelona, where he became an icon. With Barcelona, Ronaldinho exploded in popularity. He had so many reference games, but the one that made him a legend was against Real Madrid, where his performance earned him a standing ovation from the Madrid fans. Ronaldinho inspired a whole generation to love football because of the joy and excitement emanating from his playing style. He was a master at dribbling past defenders and well known for his Elastico move. In Barcelona, he mentored the young Lionel Messi. Ronaldinho's fame earned him many commercial deals with Pepsi and Nike. At the peak of his career, he earned $10 million per season and was the most paid athlete ahead of David Beckham. Unfortunately, this salary did not prevent him from hitting rock bottom at the end of his career. In July of 2019, 57 properties belonging to Ronaldinho and his Brazilian and Spanish passports were confiscated due to unpaid taxes and fines. The judge ultimately decided to reduce the fine from $4.5 million to $3 million. Ronaldinho and his brother would still fail to pay the penalties within the allotted time and have their passports suspended. In 2020, he was put in jail by the police in Paraguay after he used a fake passport to enter the country while coming for a charity event and book promotion. All the wrong choices caused Ronaldinho to lose most of his fortune. Today, he's got his life together and works on different business ventures around fashion and football. Born in 1967, Paul John Gascoigne, nicknamed Gazza, is an English former footballer who was an attacking midfielder. Regarded as one of the best playmakers of his generation and one of the best English footballers of all time, Gazza is described by the National Football Museum as widely recognized as the most naturally talented English footballer of his generation. Gazza played in multiple clubs across Europe in his career. He started his career at Newcastle, where he had 92 appearances and 21 goals. After Newcastle, he had the choice between Man United and Tottenham. He chose Tottenham, where he had 92 appearances and won the FA Cup in season 1990-1991. In time with Tottenham, Gazza showed why he was described as talented. Jose Mourinho described him as an aggressive, very physical player. Still at the time, he had very technical, fantastic characteristics that you need to be a top footballer. Unfortunately, Paul failed to fulfill his potential because of his passion for alcohol and drugs. Paul eventually went bankrupt after facing a $200,000 tax bill for not filing any tax returns for over 2 years. Paul went from being on top of England to struggling with mental health. He had multiple therapy sessions, however, he could not stay away from struggle. In September, he was hospitalized after he overdosed on alcohol and other drugs in an apparent suicide attempt. In 2010, he was arrested for drunk driving. The next day, Gazza was caught in possession of cocaine. Luckily, instead of being sentenced, he was admitted to rehab. His multiple stay in mental illness institutions cost him a lot of money. He was even charged with multiple sexual assault allegations that he had to fight in court with capable lawyers. In the end, Gazza's downfall was not only sad, but humiliating for the hero he was at one time. Our first forward is the legend himself, Diego Armando Maradona, who was born in 1960. He was an Argentine professional football player and manager, and is considered one of the greatest players in the history of the sport, and was one of the 2 joint winners of the FIFA Player of the 20th Century Award alongside the late Pelé. Maradona won the FIFA World Cup in 1986. He played 491 appearances in clubs and scored 259 goals with the biggest clubs, such as Barcelona and Napoli. He was an advanced playmaker who operated in the classic number 10 position. Maradona's vision, passing, ball control, and dribbling skills combined with his small nature, which gave him a low center of gravity and allowed him to maneuver better than most other players. Does that remind you of someone? Of course, another Argentinian called Messi. In addition to his creative abilities, he was a great goal scorer capable of dribbling a whole team on his way to scoring. Due to his precocious talent, Maradona was nicknamed El Pibe de Oro, or the Golden Boy. He was the first player to set the world record transfer fee twice, in 1982 when he transferred to Barcelona for $5 million, and in 1984 when he moved to Napoli for a fee of $6.9 million. Although he had a unique and fruitful career, Maradona had a lot of legal issues and addiction, causing him to lose most of his money. From the mid-1980s until 2004, Maradona was addicted to cocaine. Yes, cocaine. He allegedly began using the drug in Barcelona in 1983. By the time he moved to Napoli, he had a full-blown addiction, which interfered with his ability to play football. In March of 2009, Italian officials stated that Maradona still owed the Italian government $37 million in local taxes, $23.5 million of which was accrued interest on his original debt. By then, Maradona's fortune was already gone, and he was reported to have only paid $42,000. Unfortunately, this legend of the beautiful game died in 2020. His debt was then waived in 2024. In his prime, considered one of Europe's most powerful and dangerous forwards, the Brazilian player Adriano traumatized defenders and coaches. Born in 1982, he was nicknamed the Emperor and was considered the successor of Ronaldo Nazario. As a left-footed player who was gifted with excellent ball control, dribbling ability, and creativity, he was also a strong forward with an eye for goal. He was effective in the air, could link up with his teammates, and provide assists. As Zlatan Ibrahimovic described him, he could shoot from every angle, nobody could tackle him, nobody could take the ball. He was a pure animal. He was the only player with a rate of 99 in PES for power and acceleration, making him an unforgettable player for people who grew up playing the PlayStation 2. Everything changed when Adriano lost his dad. He was not the same anymore and fell into depression and addiction. The Emperor left Europe in 2009 and never returned to the level of performance he was known for. After leaving football, he joined gangs in Brazil and moved to the favelas. Nowadays, Adriano is nothing but a shadow of himself and has had multiple issues with the court, including alleged charges of drug trafficking in 2010. While we got one strong lineup, we can't deny the fact that the downfall of these footballers has been disgraceful for their fans and countries. I want to get the chance to read your opinions in the comments section on where this team would rank if they played in the English Premier League today.